Now, that hub model of institutional analysis focuses on two main areas, which is service delivery and enabling institutions. It focuses on the institutions and their roles, and then mixes this with the relationship with the poor. How does the institutions impact the relationship with the poor? So, in our diagram here, we have the poor being set in the middle, or the center. Then we're going to see the factors that directly affect the poor around them: age, gender, class, ethnicity. And then we're going to add back our factors of capital. But we wanted to put in another component in there, which is going to be called personal assets. Now, personal assets here is going to be called your internal motivations. It's going to be based on your right to act, your willingness to take part in politics, your spiritual values, what will make you act and click in a particular situation. We're going to put this now with the markets, the culture, the politics, and the rights. And then we have our aspirations and opportunities coming forth, and then we're putting this again into the vulnerability context. This now is going to tell us what actions we take and what are the outcomes that we get from it. So now, let's apply this thing to the Caribbean. If it is possible, how can this impact us? I chose two countries which we looked at in our CEDU report from 2008 based on the identification and analysis of the linkages between poverty and the environment in 4 case study countries. But today I'm only going to use 2. So the first country we're looking at is St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm going to try quickly to give you a macroeconomic overview of what the country is looking like. It's a small open economy, population 113,000 people, land space 390 square kilometers, density 290 persons per square kilometer. The population growth rate is approximately 1% per year, and 46% of the island is considered urban. The life expectancy is 72.3 years, adult literacy 82%, and human development index 0.836. Agriculture is the mainstay of the economy, even though the industry is declining, and the banana industry is the main agriculture base. The island is really vulnerable because there's a volcano, Soufrière, and it's also on the major hurricane belt. The economy has been undergoing some structural transformation. So now, to pull out this, we have to go in there and pull out part of St. Vincent, which we can actually speak to people about their livelihoods. So based on the 2008 study conducted by CEDU, we would have gone in and looked at Beira. It's a small hilly community that's mainly based on agriculture, and particularly banana farming. The land policies would have been that developed by the government, and for the farmers, there is no subsistence. Everything that they produce is going to be sold. From the farmers, they have told me that 40 to 60 boxes of bananas are going to be yielded fortnightly from 4.5 acres of land. And from that, they earn $800. Their main cost into the production process of the bananas is going to be the labor, which can vary between $40 and $50, which is way, way above the minimum wage of $27, and the price of chemicals. They're saying that the industry has declined severely. Firstly, it's going to be caused by the number of farmers who would really want to plant, and again, because of the soil structure, and also because of the application of fertilizers. The regulation on the application of fertilizers, they are now able to apply less. Less applications mean slower growth and more cost. In addition to this, now we have our environment and our climate change, which can also affect their livelihoods. So now, what are our livelihood issues that stem from this? We have the impact of seasonality. In the Caribbean, we know we have hurricanes. We can't determine when a hurricane is going to come and how we're going to structure our activities around that. Then we have the issue of control and access to resources. These farmers basically have access to their land and control only over their portion of land, which is most times 4.5 acres. And the strategies that these people are going to use is really constant. Because the farmers who I spoke to, mainly female head of households, and they are choosing banana farming as their main source of livelihood, and their main and only source of livelihood. So the main issue that we can determine from all of this is natural resource dependence. They are dependent on the land to be able to make a livelihood. Now, when we have policies telling these people how much applications you can use, we are trying to maintain environmental sustainability. But that's only one aspect of sustainability if we really break down the concept of sustainability. We can have economic, institutional, and social dimensions as well. So we are really putting these people in a kind of tight position. What they would have done, at least some of them, to try to maintain a livelihood is to go into some illegal practices. So now let's go into a macroeconomic overview of Grenada. Grenada is a tri-island state, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Population again about 100,000 people. The land area is 344 square kilometers. Approximately 1% population growth per year, and that is expected to be slowed. 275 persons per square kilometer, but much of Grenada is going to be considered rural outside of the St. George's Parish. The life expectancy is 75.3 years, adult literacy 96%, and the Human Development Index 0.813. Now, Grenada as well would have been an agrarian economy, but due to we know that they would have had some, how should I say it, environmental impacts from the two hurricanes, Emily and Ivan, and that would have transformed the economy a bit, so they're now pushing the service-oriented aspect. So now let's get into the case study. I must acknowledge the person who would have done this work, which would have been Mr. Jason Alexander, and thank you for allowing me to use this, as he's also part of SEDU. Soubise is a coastal fishing community along the eastern coast of St. Andrew's Parish. They would have had the impact of Hurricane Ivan and Emily in 2004 and 2005. In that case now, when the hurricanes impact on the island, there is damage to the boats and the engines. And in this case, the farmers are now left with consequences afterwards. Sometimes you have mental health impact. People are stressed. They are very uncertain. They don't know what to do. They have to take some time to readjust. And now in that readjustment time, it sometimes takes them between 2 to 18 months to now be able to get back and start earning some form of income once again. So again, what are the livelihood issues coming out of there? Seasonality again. The weather creates problems for them. When the weather creates problems, how much time are they going to take to be able to put away their equipment and to be able to store it properly so that they do not have to purchase a new boat when they go out? Their main form of livelihood is going to be extractive. When we have a hurricane, what happens with the catchment and how much they can catch? So again, the main issue coming out of this is natural resource dependence. An extractive livelihood makes them dependent upon the environment. So we want to talk about sustainable livelihoods and apply to the Caribbean. As we learned sustainable livelihoods, we can break this down into 3 main areas: poverty reduction, sustainable resource management, and development. From our Caribbean livelihoods, or what we do to earn a living and to maintain that living, we are looking at natural resource usage, natural resource access. So in that case now, if we want to talk sustainable livelihoods, we have to focus on our natural resources, access and management of. So I'm proposing that to achieve sustainable livelihoods within the Caribbean, we need to focus on our natural resources. I thank you.